A closer look at current events, just the tip, special guests, and more. Welcome to Let's Have a Fefe, Arizona's longest-running drag live stream. Hosted by Felicia Fefe Minor and Freddy Prinze Charming. Streaming live on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Promotional consideration for Let's Have a Fefe provided by Wigs of a Kind, The Burly Barber, Bone and Basil, as well as our patrons at Patreon. Go to patreon.com/Let's Have a Fefe to become a Fefe patron. Virtual tips accepted at paypal.me/Let's Have a Fefe. Welcome to Let's Have a Fefe.
Hello. Oh, she did decide to join us. Hello.
Hi. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you notice my background's a little bit different? A little bit different?
Yeah.
I know, it's very exciting.
Oh,
Very exciting.
Let us get into the show. Let us dive in. Welcome to Let's Have a Fefe. I didn't even know if I was going to be late or not, but I'm glad you got.
I mean, you almost kind of were. You little bit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So welcome to Let's Have a Fefe. This is episode 27 and
yes,
of
right.
season 10. Yes, because we missed last week. But I'm glad you have air conditioning, and I'm glad that you're in the drag cave with functioning internet at that.
We'll talk about that.
Oh. This is your Wednesday night conversation. I am Felicia Fefe Minor, and over there in the new digs.
In my new digs. Yes, I know. I'm still Freddy Prinze Charming. Still.
I mean, that's not gonna change, is it?
It might. I don't know. Other people change their names and stuff. I think I'll just do a whole new.
Oh
no.
Oh. To be determined, or the artist formerly known as Freddy Prinze Charming. Let's go with that. Did you change things around?
I did, because I was backwards, but no, I'm not backwards. But it's annoying because, if I'm this way, then my words aren't backwards. But if I flip it, then I'm not mirrored, and it's weird. It's strange.
Oh. Okay. We'd like to thank our Patreon supporters. Patreon. We'd like to thank Allison, Brandon, Jensen, Casey Starr, Carrie, Kim, Joan, Jody, Leanne, Nicole, Patricia Mason, Sassy, Shannon, Shelley, and Sky. Special thanks to our friends and supporters like Patricia Mason, Sky, and Drake Jensen for taking a deeper plunge. A special thanks to Joan of Bobbish, Jewelry and Wood Art, Guido Martin, and Jeremy Bright of Ribble Phoenix. Oh, I didn't put any of this on the screen at all.
Nothing.
Patreon. Yeah. Patreon.com/Let's Have a Fefe. You can sponsor us or tip us at paypal.me/Let's Have a Fefe. And last but certainly not least, text LHAF to 602-730-7379. I think that's it. Oh, if you're on Facebook, there are stars. I found out today that any video that is posted from the Let's Have a Fefe page can earn stars.
That's exciting.
Click the star button, and we earn just a little bit of coin before the government takes it away from us. And and so that is all my housekeeping. That was quicker than normal, but maybe I'm fresh off the block. How was your 2 weeks? 2 weeks.
So, first of all, I would like to apologize for any potential sound issues that there may be, because I am in the drag cave, but the mini split hasn't been fixed yet. I have the part, but the dude hasn't come along to actually install the part. So I'm sitting in here with the portable AC, which is what we plugged in to be able to let us paint and do all this shit. And it's a little loud. So I apologize if anybody's having
really
issues hearing me. Okay. I worry about it because it sounds loud. So if on playback it sounds loud or whatever, I apologize. I'm sorry. I was hoping it would be fixed by now, but apparently not. So hopefully by next week, and then of course it'll be time for us to end the season. But whatever, it's fine. So
it is.
Last week, our AC in the house went out for like 3 days, which
the main
really sucked. And it was nothing that we did or anything like that. And they were really quick to come out and take a look at it, which was good because I called them on Wednesday. They were there later in the day on Wednesday, and I was hoping it was going to be a quick and easy fix. It was not. Apparently, what had happened was, I guess, probably when they went in to do the duct work to add the duct from the unit to our bedroom. When they put it back together, I guess a wire got pinched, which caused the compressor to ground out. So basically the compressor was just like, stop. So luckily,
which is better than your house catching on fire.
This is true. The dude said that the last time he saw that happen, it had actually blown a hole through like the copper piping or tubing or whatever the fuck, I don't know. So I was like, okay, well, this is better than that. So we ended up in a hotel Wednesday night and Thursday night, which is not always as exciting as it seems. Cause like Wednesday night we had to deal with kids and we were like, cause it was last minute, we didn't know. So it was like, we didn't get to the hotel until late and then we had to wake up early. It was shitty. And then, Thursday they were supposed to call and let me know when they were supposed to be here, and we were hoping that they were going to come on Thursday, but they didn't come on Thursday, so we had to spend another night in a hotel. And then Friday they got here relatively early in the morning, which was fine. And he's up there for like a while, and then he comes back down, he knocks on the door, and he's like, so they gave us the wrong compressor. So he had to go, like, he sent his like partner to go get the new compressor, and he's like, we're not leaving until it's fixed. Like, yeah. So finally got fixed, which is good. We were able then to move the thing. We painted, we got all the stuff done out here, which was kind of nice. I actually spent Friday out here with Z because this was the coolest room in the house, and I was dying and Z was dying and everybody was dying. It was, but all the tubs and stuff have been moved from the back room, so we have a dining table now again, which is exciting. There still needs to be organization, but you can't see that way. We won't talk about.
This is the area in which you see.
Right. But suffice it to say that everything that was in the house is basically now out here, which is where it's supposed to be. And now it's just a matter of doing some, organizing and things, but that's good. It's fantastic. Kittens are adjusting nicely. Wick is starting to be okay with them. Paisley is like, whatever the fuck. Are
they adjusting better because also with the stuff being out of the house?
Probably. Paisley is coming out a lot more, so she's not quite as depressed as she was, so that's good. And with all the stuff out of the house, we were actually able to let the kittens roam around the entire house. We had them blocked off for a while, so now they're actually able to go and roam around, so that's good. My partner and I got monkeypox vaccines on Monday, which was kind of cool. We went down to the county clinic or whatever, and the line literally went all the way around the building and like down the block. Which I'm like, okay, this is great way to, have the community come out and do what they're supposed to do. Where the fuck were these lines for the COVID vaccine? Like, I'm like, oh, did we learn our lesson? Is that what happened? Like, did we learn our lesson and actually just like,
or hearing
decide that you want to do this the
quicker?
So stupid.
It spreads quicker in the LGBTQ plus community.
Right.
Could be a
Um,
thing.
I was in Tucson over the weekend. I was there on Sunday. Did I do anything on Saturday? I don't think I did anything on Saturday. What did I do on Saturday? I felt like I did something on Saturday, but I have no idea. I don't know what I did on Saturday. But Sunday I was in Tucson. That was fun. It was,
Hi,
I drove down by
Eddie.
myself. It's always interesting to
Wait, I
me
thought somebody
when
was
you.
going with you.
Mm-mm. No,
Oh.
I drove down by myself. My partner stayed up here and cleaned and stuff that we weren't able to do things while the AC was out because it was miserable. So like
Uh-huh.
I was. Oh, I was. That's right. I was with Randy. I was like, what did I do on Saturday? I was with Randy on Saturday. I was helping him because he's competing for Painted Desert
How
US of A
rude.
at large. So I was
Wait, are
went
you
to his
in there
rehearsal.
by yourself? Did something just fall?
Yeah, it's fine. I'm totally fine. So I went to his rehearsal and helped out with that a little bit, and then we did some pageant prep and stuff, and all that. So, and then Sunday I was in Tucson. But it's always interesting to me if you're somewhere and you're with people that you don't see a lot, but they start talking about some things, and you realize that what they're talking about kind of validates some things that you've thought for quite some time. I'm like, and like when multiple people like corroborate the same thing, it's like, oh, okay. So basically I've been right this whole time. That's fine. So yeah, I mean that was pretty much it. Oh yeah, now I see. I know I don't have to worry about being heard through the house while I'm, so kids don't have to be
That's so
banished to their
rude.
bedrooms or anything because they don't have to worry about noise. So that's nice. So it's yeah, no, it's good. How was your week, whatever?
Wow. That's interesting. I'm sure that my family would be wonderful if I just banished myself to another area and
Right.
they could make all the noise they want. Um, I so 2 weeks. So after our show, I performed at Lollapalooza at Zazarak for Justin Sider's birthday. That was good but hot, like
Do
hot
they not
as
have
in
AC?
they do, but I don't know how to explain it. Like
It was probably kind of what I was experiencing in Tucson. The dressing room was nice and cool, but the bar was like a fucking swamp. It was hot and it was humid and it was gross. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it was because the doors are open at Sazerac
Oh
and I
no.
just yeah. So
No.
but I'm a spoiled baby, so whatever.
It's hot as
Enjoyed
fuck.
my I know. Enjoyed my time. It's like a 2 shows in one kind of deal. But it was a good time. Even took some photos that I guess the internet went crazy for. I did
Oh,
not
I saw those.
expect.
Those were awesome.
I did not expect that Joy from Inside Out. I have to explain myself because people are like, I don't get it, and I'm like, hold on, let me send you a message of the person that I am being a grown
How
up
do they not
for.
get? I thought that was pretty obvious, but whatever.
I know. Some people need the jokes explained to them. Um, but yeah, I had a good time. Uh, celebrated Scotty's birthday, my husband. Um, the funniest thing. Okay, so we went to Red Robin. Um, so he did not want the Christmas singing, the birthday singing. And so I encouraged the waiter to bring over, the singing tribute.
I
Of
hate
course,
that
throughout
shit.
all that, he was embarrassed. But the biggest embarrassment came when we left and I arrived here. And I always look after we go eat, I always look at my account. And then I said, well, the amount didn't change. In fact, there's nothing pending.
Oh my God, did you leave without paying?
I freaked out because I was like, I left without paying. And
Oh my
I was like,
God.
so my husband has to drive me back, and luckily they weren't like, in a tizzy or anything. They were like, oh yeah, you could pay. And I was like, oh my God. Because my moral compass was going off. It was like something bad's going to happen to me if I don't go back, or if I don't say something or do something. Because I was like, and I was freaking out because, Red Robin and all those places have like the thing where you can, enter your phone number.
Mm-hmm.
As a club member. So I was thinking, oh my God, what if they decide to track me and like let me know that I'm not allowed to go to a Red Robin anymore or something? So I mean, not that it would be such a loss, but I was like, oh my God, I have to go back. Because I just need the universe to be right with me. I don't need any extra help to create problems for myself. So that was hilarious. So I thought I was embarrassing him. I posted on my Facebook. He is a little red in the face. I thought I was embarrassing him, but I ended up embarrassing myself.
Oh
So,
my God.
note to self: if you're going to try to embarrass somebody, make sure you have all your ducks in a row before you. Performed at Magic this Sunday. Celebrated Christopher Inez Onyx is his birthday, but I'd like to talk about if you feel that you get inebriated enough that you are doing things that are unlike yourself. As a person that used to be this way, I say that A, know your limit. B, know when to leave. And C, if you're going to get that outrageously drunk, do it at home safely. But it's no excuse to be throwing ice or anything
What the
at
fuck?
people.
First of all, that
So
shit melts, and then you can end up slipping and hurting yourself. Like, who the fuck? What kind of idiot would do that shit?
not
Like
to be
that.
named, but it's been taken care of.
Mm-mm.
And so that. But in all, the universe must have heard me cussing loudly because somebody requested that Mia and I do King Jesus, and that video is also on
I
Facebook,
saw
which
that video.
which put a positive spin on my night because I can be really nice, y'all. I can, but push the
Oh no,
button
that
and
shit
I'm
would have
gone.
pissed me off. That shit would have pissed me the
I was.
fuck off.
But
No.
I think the person has tried to apologize to me, but I haven't checked my inbox in a while, so I'm sorry if I haven't gotten back to you and you're watching this.
I feel sometimes it's like I get that you're apologizing, but also like you're an adult. Like you should fucking know better at this point. Like people do shit, and I'm like, okay, I don't know. I find very. I find that my tolerance for bullshit with when it comes to adults, it's like, no, you should know better. Where the fuck are your friends? Like, where? No, that it should never have gotten to that point. Like, it should never have gotten to that point. That's some bullshit. Like, I don't know how I feel about that. Like, that's
yeah. So, that is all. I just wish them well, and I say if you're in a bar, be cordial. Like any public place, be cordial. But I had a good time.
And say if you have that much of an issue, maybe you should look into like some recovery programs or something, because that, like, if you get to that point, there's a problem. Like,
yeah, bigger issues, bigger problems. But let's move on to the tip, talking about that you should get some help.
So this is actually my tip for last week, but it's fine. I just get to recycle them because we didn't do last week. It works. It made my day much easier.
I mean, this is right on cue.
Right? So we're going to talk a little bit about things like self-love and relationships, and how like self-love relates to relationships and all that stuff. And when I say self-love, I don't mean self-love. I mean, actually, sound like a broken squeaky toy. Should you see somebody about that?
I do on the weekends.
Oh. Like,
oh my god,
I'm talking about actual like self-love. And when I say self-love, it doesn't mean, you know, looking at yourself in the mirror and being like, I'm perfect and I love everything about myself, because that's unrealistic and generally not a thing. And most people would agree that,
so I should stop doing it.
Girl. So, like, for me, I look at self-love like understanding that I'm a complex being. I'm not perfect, but I'm doing my best to be a good human. So if I can look at myself in the mirror and be like, you know what, we've got some struggles, you know, this part over here isn't so great, but you're doing what you can. Like, for me, that's self-love. It's understanding that it's still about the growing and whatever. And it's not easy. Self-love is not easy. You know, we all deal with setbacks and negativity and bumps in the road and all that bullshit. And the key is, you know, learning and growing and using that other relationships. And, you know, what is it RuPaul always says? If you can't love yourself, how are you gonna love anybody else? You know, something right? So it's kind of like something that, but not quite as like toxic, because that just kind of, because I think that people are perfectly capable of loving other people when they struggle with themselves, but it doesn't mean that their relationships
I think it leans more on. I think it leans more on the feeling that I have is, if you don't have enough in your cup to give to yourself, you can't give it to others. That's
right. You can't. That is right. You can't like pour from an empty pitcher. Like, I get that. Right. So one thing that I've noticed that my many years on this planet, many years on this planet,
you look great. Is for that 80.
Was I freezing? I seem to be okay.
I did a little bit, but it stopped. I think,
you know. Sorry.
He's in a new place. He's trying new things.
Right. I'm trying. It's
gonna happen.
So I've discovered that partners have a tendency to treat you the way that you treat yourself. So if you are always, and this, mind you, this isn't this isn't like a, you know, this is the way it is, but it's sort of just a thing that I've noticed when it comes to my own observations in my own life. It's like, so if you're always down on yourself, if you're always insecure and needy and jealous, that kind of shit kind of rubs off on your partners. You know, they're going to treat you like, if you're the person that's always like, I need you to validate my existence. And it's like, we've all known those people. Sometimes we've been those people. Like, we get it. But if you're like that constantly, that kind of negativity tends to rub off on your partners. So they're going to treat you like you're not worthy. They're going to treat you like, you know, you're insecure and, you know, all that. But, which I'm not saying is right. I'm not saying that's right at all. Don't get me wrong. I'm not condoning that. I'm just saying that's usually a pattern. But if you're doing the work on yourself, you'll be more confident and you'll be more secure. If you remember, we talked about attachment styles, secure and insecure attachment styles a while back, and when you love yourself, you'll better know what boundaries you need to set and what your hard limits are. So, and if you're familiar, and if you know what those boundaries are, you can say, no, I'm not okay with this. And that immediately, well, in theory, puts that down so that it's like, no, you can't treat me this way. I'm not okay with this. We're not gonna do, you know what I mean? So it, instead of just allowing your partners to walk all over you and allowing your partners to just treat you with the negativity that you treat yourself, doing that self-work gives you that ability to put down those boundaries and to know when to say no, basically. More self-love, more self-work will attract healthier relationships. You know how they say, like attracts like. It's just like your energy will attract folks with the same energy. So
put out the energy you want to receive back.
Right. And that goes for all energy. So if you're constantly blah and always negative or always whatever, you're going to attract the same kind of people. So y'all can just sit in a fucking corner and sulk and be bitchy and whiny and constantly complain about things, because that's the kind of people you're going to attract. Because all the people that are doing the work for themselves, that doesn't mean that toxic positivity is a thing. We've talked about it. It doesn't mean that you have to be positive all the time, but the ability to be positive and not just be negative it's a big thing, but you have to keep in mind too that if your self-love starts to kind of shift into things like self-absorption or ego, I'm your wrong. Oh, Jesus.
Jesus.
I'm going to ignore
Is that
it.
you?
I have to,
You're not in the same room anymore.
No. So if your self-love starts to kind of shift into the realm of self-absorption, of ego, of cockiness, you're going to attract the same sort of people that are, they just care about themselves. They don't really care about you. Just like you just care about yourself, they're not going to care about you either. So it's like, you need to just
wait. Negative vibes only?
No, we can't do that. No negative vibes. I mean, yes, it's okay to be negative, but if it's only negative, we can't do that. Like, toxic positivity is a thing. Toxic negativity is a thing. And there has to be a balance. It's okay to be realistic about, well, you know what? This sucks right now. Like the fact that I have a massive fucking portable air conditioner in my drag cave instead of having the thing fixed because whatever. But it's like, you know what? It's a small problem. It sucks, but it's a small problem. I still have all this shit that I have to organize in here. I fucking hate it, but it's a small problem because you know what? At least this shit is done. You know what I mean?
When you're done, can you come do mine?
No, but my partner loves that. I'm sure she would love to help you.
Oh, Dee is more than welcome to come on over, because you know how this goes.
And I think that as you kind of do the self work with things, you'll realize that relationships should be partnerships, not codependent situations. And
she's rude. Oh my God.
Right? It's just, I'm so sorry. I thought that she would be more willing to help me, but apparently not. So without that self-love, you may fall into patterns of mistrust and codependency because you constantly need your partner to quell your insecurities and make you feel better about yourself. Like you have to do everything with them because without them, you feel like you just can't. You can't. And they have to tell you all the time how amazing you are and how wonderful you are and all of this. And it's like,
I mean, but I like that.
It's fine, but you shouldn't have to have somebody else have to validate. You know what I mean? Like you and if you're codependent, then trust becomes an issue. It becomes very hard to be able to trust your partner, whether it's them being on their phone or whether it's them going to the fucking grocery store. Because I've been there. I get it. I've been on the other end of that, where people have been fucking codependent as hell, and every time I left the house, it was because I was cheating on somebody. Or, you know what I mean? Like,
of course you were.
yes, right.
Of course you were.
And
in 5 minutes, you could have gone there, changed out, and come back.
Yep, that's what I did. And the thing is, you know, no one knows how to make you happy the way that you know how to make yourself happy. You know, I'm not just talking about sex. That's a big thing too, but I'm not just talking about sex. Like, having the confidence to have the autonomy to say, I'm going to go do this thing that I really enjoy doing. And you don't have to come with me if you don't want to. I don't need you to come with me. Or, you know what? I'm going to go do this thing that I really enjoy by myself. You know, it's great being able to have that confidence to be able to say that. You know, having interests and activities that you can do with or without your partner means not having to compromise on things that you enjoy, whether or not your partner also enjoys them. You know, so it's like if you're working on that self-love, and that comes a lot of times down to boundaries as well. If you're like, you know what, no, there's this thing that I really enjoy doing, and I understand that you don't like doing it, but I'm going to continue doing it. I will make sure that it is as, you know, not as disruptive to our lives or whatever. I'll make sure that, you know, if I do something, I'll put it on the schedule or whatever it is, or I'll, you know, do this thing the second Tuesday of the month or whatever it is, but I'm going to do it because this is something that I enjoy, and you don't have to do it with me, you know. But you see the codependency where these couples don't do anything separately ever. Like, they can't even go to the grocery store by themselves. Like, it's a, you know, oh, I can't do that because my partner doesn't like doing it. I don't give a fuck if your partner likes doing it. I asked you if you wanted to go do this thing, not your, like, what? Like, no, I don't care if your partner likes doing this or not. Like, that has nothing to do with anything. Like,
So, also, I read an article today. I read, surprise.
Yes, queen.
That was saying the same thing about work and how people create this. It's almost like they're in a relationship with their job, and I'm at a in all stops of my life, I feel like I'm at a and I'm standing in the middle of the road, and there's many roads in front of me, and I feel like I, in some instances, created codependency on my job, on many things in my life. And so right now, this is not new to Freddy, but maybe new to you guys. But right now, I'm feeling the urge to rebrand or self-discover what makes me happy, because I know what that means, but I don't know how that feels, I think, if that makes any sense. But also, to go back to the point, I feel like I'm very codependent on other people to make me happy, when I know for a fact that I don't need validation from other people to prove that I am valued or I am worthy. So that's where I was going. I know I can go all.
No, I get that, and a lot of times that kind of goes into like imposter syndrome and stuff too. Like, there's a lot of crossover with things that we've talked about in the past and stuff. But it's hard when you have to, you know, deal with needing validation on any level from anything. But self-love kind of, it helps you understand that you can't depend on other people to make you happy. Like, yes, you can be with your partner and be happy. You can be with your friends and be happy. But if your sole source of happiness is them, that's a concern, because there's no guarantee that they will always be there. Relationships end, regardless of whether it's friendships, romantic relationships, whatever it is. Relationships don't always
Yeah.
like, they don't always last forever. And if you're so deeply rooted in needing that for happiness, then that's definitely an issue. You know,
Dee
in the
says,
end, yes.
so much of these types of characteristics are rooted in our childhood experiences. It's interesting. Actually, a book that I'm in the middle of right now is How to Do the Work. At first, I thought it was a book about how to like do project management, but it's about how to it's yes, you've begun using the term self-compassion and versus self-love. That's wonderful. I in this book they talk about how no childhood is perfect. Even those that have benefited from privilege still experience trauma, no matter how deep or how so. And it
Because
talks
trauma
about,
comes in all sorts of different forms.
yes. And it talks about how we carry all of this to our adulthood. So as soon as we hit adulthood and we start interacting with other adults, we start to just give all of these traumas and project them to the world. And so I have, whew, there's been sometimes I read this book, I'm like, oops. So, I mean, again, like I said, you have to learn and relearn and unlearn and relearn everything.
You have to
It's
be
just,
willing to put in the work. If you're not willing to put in the work, you're just going to end up in a cycle that is going to have a negative effect on every relationship that you have until you start doing the work, because it's you otherwise you're just going to carry all this shit around, and it's going to constantly affect everything. It affects it affects attachment styles, which we've talked about. It affects everything. And if you work on the self-love, if you work on the self-compassion, if you work on all of these senses of self that you need, and you're able to bring that confidence into relationships, it can only enhance things instead of
bring it down.
it's a good thing. It's never a bad thing. And if the person that you're with isn't doing the self-work, but you are, then that's a problem too. Because if you're doing the work to try and figure out where your issues are, where your trauma is, and what effects that trauma has on your relationships, and how to make it better, and how to get past it, and and learn from it, and all this stuff, then, and your partner isn't, that can be really, really hard to deal with, because then they're basically like a cement block tied to your ankle while you're trying to swim, and they're still dragging you down because they haven't done the work. So that's a
First
thing.
of all, I can't swim because of childhood trauma. And do not send me a message that says you're going to teach me how to swim, because no.
We have a 4-foot pool. You can come swim in our pool.
Yes, that sounds better to me. Laura says,
we also just got a big glitter flamingo floaty.
Sounds like photo shoot time. I have chosen not to be in a relationship if they don't love themselves. Laura, go into it a little more, because I feel like like Freddie said, I feel like sometimes people don't love themselves, not to the point of self-loathing, but they don't love themselves, but they can full on love somebody else. What else she said? I would rather be alone, loving myself. Oh, you just laying out the work tonight. Being molested as a child, it was work. You're right. And some people self-implode, self-loathe, keep to themselves. Yes, you have to do the work to find yourself again. A lot of these traumas you hold on to because it's almost attached to a memory. And from what I'm reading, it's almost like you hold on to this trauma like you hold on to the memory because you don't want to lose a bit of your identity. But as soon as you let go of the trauma, it doesn't let go of the memory. It's still there. It just gives you just get the tools to manage
Right.
that trauma.
Right. Well, a lot of times people make trauma like such a big part of their like personality. It's like, okay, look, like I understand you went through trauma. I went through some shit. A lot of people went through trauma. But if that's your whole personality, that's a whole other issue. Like that,
or a whole lot of work that needs to be done.
So yeah. What's happening with current events? Oh my God, have you gone to the grocery store lately?
I went last week or the week before. Yes.
So I went on Monday, I think, and I about fell the fuck out because
why? Because of the $7 milk?
We're getting there. Fuck. So a gallon of milk is almost $4 at Fry's right now. And I went down the cereal aisle, and a fucking regular size box of Special K is $7. The 12 packs of soda.
Why are you eating Special K?
I'm not. But I happened to notice that. In fact, most of the cereal boxes were about $7. I found my big giant box of Golden Grams though for about $5. So I felt.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait a minute. Are you okay?
And then like soda on sale. It was $6.99 if you buy 3 or more. I was like, excuse me, $7 for a fucking no.
So yes, that. I did experience. Okay, so I did experience the soda piece. I'm used to. I think I'm used to cereal being expensive because I buy those big ass bags. I do drink almond milk. Yes, it is a little bit cheaper.
Almond milk only lasts longer if you don't open it, and if it's shelf stable.
Well, I have people that eat on a regular basis cereal, so that's no problem. But
also almond milk is terrible for the environment. You should go with oat milk instead.
I have oat milk creamer. But anyhow, I did notice that it was $6.99 each or whatever. And then so I usually don't buy soda at the store. I usually get it from Walgreens of all places because they usually have like 3 for $10 or something. So I usually wait for that.
But they don't. The problem with Walgreens is they don't generally have the stuff that I actually drink.
Oh. Well, I drink Sprite and others drink Dr. Pepper and Pepsi. So those are usually
I only drink like the zero sugar stuff.
Oh. Good for you.
I know. It's because I prefer to get my calories from like cupcakes and things. I never said I was healthy.
But yes, prices are going up, and this inflation bill, I'm not really understanding how it's gonna cut back on things, but we'll see how it goes. I guess. I don't know.
Stupid. My mind absolutely fucking. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" And I'm like, "What's the cutoff now for like food stamps?" Like, because I feel like I might qualify. Like, this is ridiculous. Like,
even when one of us was unemployed, even at the salary that I was making at the time, I was still making too much to qualify for food stamps.
Well, at this point, I'm going to need a second job just to buy some soda. So,
book the kings.
right? Thanks, please. Thank you.
I didn't put this in here, but it's on its way to a judge, I think. The last time I saw it, that people that went to ITT Tech and some other schools are getting their loans forgiven due to like a fraudulent lawsuit that found things fraudulent.
Ooh,
and as you know, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, 6 years ago, ITT Tech closed all of its campuses, shut the doors, went bankrupt, kind of thing.
yeah.
I also had an experience kind of like that. So if I get money back, boo boo, we going. I'm going on vacation. That doesn't count for my ASU bill, but it does count for another school I did go to. So,
let's see. Last week, Trump pleads the fifth at a deposition last week. It was for an ongoing investigation on whether the Trump organization misled lenders, insurers, and tax authorities by providing misleading financial statements. So rather than actually saying, no, I didn't do anything and lying, of course, he decided to plead the fifth because that always looks really good if you're not guilty.
Yeah, I thought that was so. As this is all happening last week, I was like, oh, and we didn't have a show. Oh,
I know.
But is it coming full circle? Some people say no, but I say a little bit yeah, because the FBI took itself and made itself an authority and went into his estate, Agent Orange, the Trump Meister. They went into his estate at Mar-a-Lago, which Trump he is a panty waist. Anyway, called it assault as the FBI raided his place. Tear. Anyway, the search was focused on documents that Trump took with him when he left the White House, including classified documents. But he keeps saying that they're not they are declassified. And
but they're not. There's actual physical proof that he did take classified. Like his lawyer was like, yes, we have these. And they're like,
and so there has been very pointed articles written about you cannot take a magic wand, and no president can take a magic wand and say that me having these documents declassifies them.
No, that's not how that works. You can't just be like, oh, look, this is no longer no, still fucking classified.
I'm gonna do that with
fucking God.
I should do that with bills. I should do that. I should be like,
right, just be like, oh, this one's not valid. Okay,
this
but you
isn't due this
no,
month.
No, it's not.
My
valid.
rent's not due this month. No. I don't think that I want to pay.
Just said I don't. People, I cannot. Liz Cheney apparently bought time on Fox News to air a viral ad with her father, calling Trump the greatest threat to our country in its 246-year existence. He calls Trump a coward, Yikes. Says he tries to overturn the election using violence. And then at the end, he endorses his daughter. Hello. So I'm wondering if this means that we're going to see Liz Cheney throw her hat in the ring for 2024 for the Republican nomination. That could be interesting.
I heard that it's more true than false. Eddie says in hearing Mango Man can't get attorneys because he's broke and no one wants to touch that case.
He apparently has one attorney who's probably a complete slime bag. He probably found him at the bottom of the lake.
Speaking of slime bags, I didn't put this on there either, but I think Giuliani is in Atlanta testifying for all of this madness. One of the Trump
They
hearings.
all just need to they all just need to go to fucking prison. I don't know. But I'm very curious to see what will happen if Liz Cheney decides to throw her hat in the ring for the nomination. Because she's still a Republican and she's still not an awesome person. She's still better than her father, that's for damn sure. But
just don't shoot anybody in the face.
Right. But that could be interesting. That might throw an interesting kind of wrench into things, because I think that there would be a lot of Republicans that would probably support her. So that I'm curious to kind of follow that and see what happens there.
Have y'all noticed that there's this huge just gap forming between the people that support Trump and the people that
and normal people
are still Republican, and they're like, oh, so I can still be Republican, but I don't support Trump.
The gap is widening,
yes, and so
like it's
especially as all these people go to court for him and his name, they quickly under the pressure they go, that's not my fault. I was under the direction of
yeah. A lot of them are real quick to throw him under the bus. It's like, no, I was just doing what I was told. You know who else said that? The Nazis. During the Nuremberg trials and stuff. Every time someone, they were just, I was just following orders. Okay, well,
Yikes. A Southwest Florida school district has added warning labels to more than 100 books. Yikes. So we don't
They're literal warning labels. They're like stickers on the inside of the cover.
Wow. Like cigarette warning labels?
Basically.
Okay. Most of which deal with race or LGBTQ issues. Books include Genderqueer, a memoir, All Boys Aren't Blue, Stamped, Racism, Anti-Racism, and You, Beloved.
Yeah, by Toni Morrison. It's a literary classic.
Yes, and I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings,
which is Maya Angelou. Yeah.
Wow. Which is kind of racist itself.
Don't let the kids read anything written by Black folks, y'all. Can't do that.
Yikes.
The Lincoln Project is okay. So the Lincoln Project is problematic in itself, because the Lincoln Project, if I remember correctly, has to do with like Republican gays, I think, or something.
I believe so.
And that in itself is a real fucking issue. So the Lincoln Project is they're not anything to look. No, they're still basically working against their own fucking interests. So like that's no. Angelica Ross will be the first trans woman to play Roxy Hart on Broadway. That's kind of exciting. So Chicago on Broadway will find themselves having a Black trans Roxy Hart, but I think it's fantastic. I think that's amazing.
Yeah,
I would love to see that.
So, let's go to New York. Let's just do it.
I'm down.
Nobody can come with us. And all this about monkeypox and that later. But a gay couple was attacked by a group of teens in DC after being called anti-gay slurs and referencing monkeypox. So if that doesn't sound familiar to you, it's also
first of all, know your history.
Yeah, it's also happening here. One person in particular, I was like, what? That can't be true. And then it started happening to other people. And I was like, well, hold on. What is going on? How are people? So I don't believe that the gay couple was attacked in the hospital, but the people that I have seen through Instagram.
No, this couple were attacked on the street.
Okay. But the people that I'm referencing that I have seen have been attacked in the hospital. And so this is very reminiscent of the 80s. Very very like, don't touch me, I might get
Did you
it,
not
very
fucking
much.
learn the first time? Like, what the fuck, y'all? Like,
But what'd you say? They always blame the gays. Well, we were already on the agenda because election season's in town. So I just, one day there's gonna be some resurrection, some people are gonna wake up. They're doing it slowly, but not fast enough. Because gays and all kinds of people have been here for thousands, if not
we're not
millions
new.
of
We're
years.
not fucking
So
new.
it's just very weird.
So speaking of monkeypox, I feel like now we've shifted from COVID to monkeypox because it's the same thing. Like we were last year and the year before, we were doing like COVID numbers and things like that. Now we're shifting to monkeypox because like that's what's new, I guess. So as of last Tuesday, Florida had almost 1,000 monkeypox infections, and that was actually doubling its numbers within that week. Literally sounds like what was happening with COVID with them. As of today, they're up to 1,346 cases.
But Florida is very they're like one of the first states to like be like, okay, COVID thing.
Right. They're like, they don't care.
Everybody go back to work and school and things.
So in the US, total last week, as of last Wednesday, there were 9,500 total monkeypox cases in the States. As of today, there are close to 14,000. So it is spreading. It is a thing. Right now, the only state with no cases is Wyoming. Can you believe that? There's nothing in Wyoming. No cases in Wyoming yet.
Do people still live there?
Apparently. But I think it's only like one guy, and I think he's like the whole state is just his ranch or something. I don't know.
Oh, I figured so much. Lucky guy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And 213 in Arizona?
213 in Arizona, which is up quite a bit from last week. Over 2,300 cases in California and over 2,600 in New York. And, as people are traveling and things like that, it spreads. So we need to be mindful. If you are somewhere, where your county is having clinics, go get your vaccine. My partner was fortunate. She went with me, and when we were in line, first of all, I'm technically high risk, which kind of makes her high risk by default because she's my partner, But generally, if you are like in line to get, they're not going to be like, no, you can't get it. It's like they want to make sure this isn't spreading. So if someone is wanting to get it and you're in line or whatever, you're check with PCPs, check with whoever. If you can get it, get the vaccine, because there's no reason not to. And if it will help reduce the number of people that get it, if it helps stop the spread, and for fuck's sake, if it'll help stop this fucking stigma. So we were standing in line, as we were driving home, we were like, right now it's spreading mostly between men who sleep with men, right? So now that's why we have this whole stigma. We were talking about how it might be kind of funny if like somebody had monkeypox and they just happened to wander into like a mega church and so hugs, and then all of a sudden, oh my, there's a huge influx of right wing religious folks getting monkeypox. Ooh.
No, then it'll be a real state of emergency.
Good. Let it be a real state of emergency, but at least it'll won't be a gay disease anymore. Now we'll make it
It'll just be a
right
mainstream
wing disease.
I believe somebody posted on my Facebook for Maricopa County to make an appointment, if I'm not mistaken. If not, I will reshare. What did D say? I can't see. I'm a rule follower and asked. Oh, that sounds like it's personal. But I say be safe. I am trying to make plans to go. I missed it on Monday. But I have seen people making appointments. I have seen people posting on their stories about getting shots. I have seen people freak out, like Eddie was saying, about like maybe they see a scar of something else and think,
Right.
oh God, do I have...
Oh, and surprisingly, the vaccine did not make me sick. At least the first one didn't, which is surprising because when I got my first COVID shot, I already had a headache before I even drove out of the stadium. Like, it was that quick, and I felt miserable for like 2 days. So, like, I was very surprised that it did not make me sick. But
did we get smallpox vaccines when we were little? Is that a thing? I don't know.
I know I did, but that was because I was overseas. I don't know if normal people here do or not.
I'm not normal, so but it wouldn't surprise me if I had. Do people get sick after? I haven't heard. Made me feel a little off the next day, and I had a heart lump that was red and itchy for a week, but worth it. And I asked with COVID, because I always get like these when I get shots and I don't massage it, it like turns like my whole arm like stiff. So I have to like massage it because
like my arm's a little sore. Like, it's still a little sore, but it like I didn't
this is
feel
like
bad,
hard.
So,
like my muscles will like go hard all around it, and it does not feel comfortable at all. So I make sure, but I will ask when I get the shot for this one, because it's under your arm, kind of, right here.
It's at the back, so it's like right here. Like I still have a lump, a little bit of a lump, and it's still tender, but it's like it was like right here.
Well, I don't have a chance to be a baby, so I'm afraid of needles, and B, if I don't like massage it, then my arm goes stiff, and then it's just so stupid. But so if I can do it, you all can do it. Let's just say that.
Let's see. What have we got coming up in terms of? Oh, this is a busy weekend for both of us.
So on Friday,
Friday we've got Drag Bingo and Cats. Are there tickets left?
I think so. I haven't really been paying attention. Sorry.
It's been busy. This month has been busy. Like, there's been a lot of shit going on. So
yes. Yes. Drag Bingo at La Guitarra in Phoenix on Friday at 7. Go to their website, buy your tickets. Please not on Friday night though, because this is when I am trying to get ready, and then I get messages that say, "Are you still taking tickets? I can't seem to buy the tickets. Can you get me in? Can you let them know?"
Like, oh my God, I hate it when I'm trying to get ready for shit and people are texting me. I'm like, I'm trying to get ready. Stop texting me.
They're like, "Can you tell them that I want tickets?" No, I'm barely talking to them as it is.
Be a big person and put your big person panties on and do it your damn self.
Or get there early and figure it out. Because they're open during the day. You could go during the day and get your tickets. And then we travel down to Tucson. Woo! for Adult Story Hour at Bookman's Midtown. I didn't realize there was a difference, but there is.
There's Tucson has like 3 different Bookmans, or 2 Bookmans, 3 Bookmans,
Correct.
something like that.
Yes. And so Bookman's Midtown. And I believe you have to RSVP before, at least for our portion, before. So you'll want to do that.
And then on Sunday, I am back at C7 with the Three Fates review. That should be fun. It's sort of the anniversary show, and there's a whole bunch of awesome performers. So I think we still have a few tickets up for that. I would highly recommend getting the good seats, because then you're up front and you won't be stuck in the back. But it's worth it. It's a good show. I'm excited to be back.
Whoa. You haven't been to one in a while. Let's see. And then that's not the name of the fundraiser. Oh my God.
Wow.
I
haven't seen anything for it, or I would have helped you promote it.
I posted some of the stuff throughout the week because Sharon has been posting. What is the name of the fundraiser? Oh my God. There's a Black-owned, it's the only Black-owned, it's not just an abortion clinic. It's like an
women's health clinic, or like a...
Yeah. Oh, yes. And so the title of the fundraiser is Kick Abortion Bans in the Balls. I believe that's what it's called. And
it seems very long. How'd that fit on a flyer?
I didn't do the flyer, so yeah. But yeah, we're gonna do some things. We're gonna play some bingo, which I need to remember to get the bingo from you and not show up without a bingo.
Just take it with you on Friday.
Yeah. And then
do you need bingo cards?
I need to find that out. Yes, probably.
Because I have some here. If you need, I have somewhere, I think.
Oh, are they the ones I bought a long time ago?
Could be.
Because I need... Oh, that would be wonderful. Because the ones that yeah, we'll talk. But yeah, there's a lot of prizes, some good prizes that I was like, I might have to sit down for a couple rounds. Anyway, but yeah, it's gonna be fun. And then August 31st, we could do the roast if you want to, or we could do Ask Me Anything, or we could do whatever you want to do.
Figure it out. It's our season finale.
For our season finale on August 31st.
Also, as because we'll then have a few weeks to kind of start planning out season 11 and all that. If you or someone you know either has a service or a product or something, and you would like to be a supporter or a sponsor or whatever, please reach out. Because we're doing, like, everything's going to get kind of overhauled. Like, everything's going to be new stuff. So, like, if, Marissa works on our wigs and things, which are freaking amazing. And we've been able to send so many people her way. I love it. I love that, like Serotonin's like, no, these are all my wigs from Marissa. Like, they're, so it's like, we've been able to send a lot of people her way. So if you know, someone you know, whatever, if it's a product, makeup, whatever, anything, service, whatever, and you would like to be a part of our show, then just reach out to myself or Felicia or whatever, and we'd love to chat with you.
I'd like to chat with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that, a lot of stuff coming down the pike. Also taking suggestions. Let me label that correctly. Suggestions on guests for the next season. Suggestions. Doesn't mean that it's going to happen if you suggest it.
General criteria. Make sure that they are relatively personable, that they have something to talk about, and they're kind of interesting.
Yeah, we need that. Yeah, love you too, girl. Love you too. Thank you for watching either live or on the replay. We appreciate that. This has been your Wednesday night conversation, and we will be back next week. And same bad channel, unless Freddy's air conditioner goes out again.
God, I hope not.
But we plan to be back and kick this caboodle August 31st and start a brand. Randy, hi Randy. You don't
Hi,
usually.
Randy. We're ending the show now. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks. Welcome to our TED Talk. We're done now. Oh my God.
It's fine.
But good night. Good night.
Good night.
You can listen on Friday now, Randy. You're
Right.
welcome. But good night.
Promotional consideration for Let's Have a Fefe provided by Wigs of a Kind, The Burly Barber, Bone and Basil, as well as our patrons at Patreon. Go to patreon.com/Let's Have a Fefe to become a Fefe patron. Virtual tips accepted at paypal.me/Let's Have a Fefe. Subscribe to the Let's Have a Fefe podcast. You can listen on your favorite podcatcher. See you next week for your Wednesday night conversation. This has been Let's Have a Fefe. Good night.